get in the building yet, but I just wanted to get him.
At this time, the chair recognizes Councilmember Mike Driscoll, who will present a resolution recognizing the month of May 2025 as Building Safety Month in the city of Philadelphia. Would L&I Commissioner Bridget Greenwald and Basil Miranda and those accompanying them please join the council member at the podium? Joining member Driscoll, that's Commissioner Basil Miranda. Joining Councilmember Driscoll is Councilmember Catherine Gilmore Richardson, Councilmember Jamie Gauthier, Councilmember Anthony Phillips, Councilmember Nicholas O'Rourke, the chair recognizes Councilmember Mike Driscoll, Chairman of the License and Inspection.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're recognizing May 2025 as Building Safety Month in the city of Philadelphia. And joining us today are Commissioner Basil Miranda and
Excuse me, Member Driscoll. Let the council be at ease for a second. Listen, I know we have a lot of guests that are here today, and we welcome you to City Council. We're asking, can you please keep your voices down while we conduct the business of our legislative agenda for today? And if you feel the need to have a conversation, that's okay, but please step outside the council chambers. And that's if you're in the balcony as well as if you're here on the floor. The chair recognizes Councilmember Mike Driscoll.
Mr. President, we have Commissioner Basil Miranda and we have Commissioner Bridget Collins Greenwald here. And as you can see, I think we have the entire staff of License and Inspection here. What's making me nervous is who the hell's watching the buildings today? That's what I worry about. I'm joking because I know your team watches these buildings 24/7, 365 days a year. Believe me when I tell you that. I've been on the phone on Christmas Day with some of the staff at L&I. I've been on the phone on the 4th of July. I've been on the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning. They've been out with me when a plane crashes in Northeast Philadelphia. You know, we always talk about our first responders. Well, guess what? L&I are first responders as well. So let's give them a round of applause. And as the chair of L&I committee here in City Council, and on behalf of all of my colleagues, and some of my colleagues are going to have some comments during the resolution and the citation, we just want every member of this department, for every level of your department, to know how grateful we are on what you folks do every single day to keep us safe in the city of Philadelphia. And we mean that as an entire council, as council president, and I think I can speak on behalf of Mayor Parker today, that we want to thank each and every one of you for your service, your public commitment, and your dedication. So with that, we're going to begin to present the citation, and then we'll hear from your leadership. Whereas the city of Philadelphia is committed to recognizing that our growth and strength depends on the safety and essential roles of our homes, buildings, and infrastructure play both in everyday life and when disaster strikes. And
And we thank you, our Chairman of Licenses and Inspections, for this opportunity to show our appreciation and gratitude to all the members of Licenses and Inspections for all of your hard work throughout the entire city of Philadelphia. And whereas our confidence in the resilience of these buildings that make up our community is achieved through the devotion of vigilant guardians, building safety and fire prevention officials, architects, engineers, builders, tradespeople, design professionals, laborers, plumbers, and others in the construction industry who work year-round to ensure the safe construction of buildings. And
whereas these guardians are dedicated members of the International Code Council, a nonprofit that brings together local, state, territorial, tribal, and federal officials who are experts in the built environment to create and implement the highest quality codes and standards to protect us in the buildings where we live, learn, work, and play. And whereas these modern building codes and standards include safeguards to protect the public from hazards such as hurricanes, snowstorms, tornadoes, wildland fires, floods, and earthquakes. And
whereas Building Safety Month is sponsored by the International Code Council to remind the public about the critical role of our communities, largely unknown protectors of public safety, our code officials, who assure us of safe, sustainable, and affordable buildings that are central to our prosperity. Whereas Game On, the theme for Building Safety Month 2025, encourages all to get involved and raise awareness about building safety on personal, local, and a global scale. And
whereas each year, in observance of Building Safety Month, people all over the world are asked to consider the commitment to improve building safety, resilience, and economic investment at home and in the community, and to acknowledge the essential service provided to all of us by local, state, tribal, territorial, and federal building safety and fire prevention departments in protecting lives and property. Now, therefore be it.
Be it resolved that the Council of the City of Philadelphia hereby recognizes the month of May as 2025 Building Safety Month. Further resolved that an engrossed resolution be presented to Bridget Collins Greenwald and Basil Miranda in recognition of the vital work done by the Department of Licenses and Inspections.
The chair recognizes Commissioner Bridget Greenwald and then Basil Miranda, Commissioner, for remarks.
Thank you, Councilmember Driscoll and City Council, for your unwavering support of both departments of L&I and recognizing the dedication of the employees of the Quality of Life and the Inspection, Safety, and Compliance departments during Building Safety Month. The theme of this year, as you noted, was Building is Game On, and we look forward to a month full of activities and trainings that will communicate the importance of safety in their existing and yet to be built buildings. The teams on both sides of L&I hold safety as the utmost priority and have heeded the very special calling to ensure the safety of the residents and visitors throughout the city through tireless code education and enforcement. I'm proud to work with the folks in this room. I'm proud for those who are not here as well. They show such altruism to make this city a safer place. Thank you.
I would like to thank Council President Johnson, Council Member and Chairman of the L&I Committee, Councilman Driscoll, and the entire City Council for recognizing and acknowledging Building Safety Month. On behalf of L&I's Inspection, Safety, and Compliance Division, I accept this resolution with gratitude and appreciation. L&I's construction inspectors, plans examiners, clerical staff are on the front lines enforcing the building codes and standards day in and day out, ensuring construction craftsmanship in every neighborhood of the city. It's tough, hard work that they do with skill, professionalism, and effectiveness. So this resolution is indeed a well-deserved pat on the back for our folks. We look forward to continuing our excellent working partnership with the council, and thank you again for your resolution.
Council will be at ease. Thank you. Thank you. At this time, I am extremely super proud to call up Councilmember Isaiah Thomas, who will present a resolution congratulating South Philly owns Universal Ordinary High School girls varsity basketball team for their historic three-peat as the 2025 Public League champions. Could we give that a round of applause? With Coach Kevin Slaughter, childhood friend from South Philly, and those accompanying him, please join the council member at the podium. Joining council member Isaiah Thomas at the podium is Councilmember Kendra Brooks, Councilmember Jim Harity, Councilmember Dr. Nina Ahmad, Majority Leader Captain Gilmore Richardson,
Good morning again, everybody. I'd like to take a moment to say congratulations to the historic run by Orton Reed High School girls basketball team. They were able to put together not just a legendary season this year, but if you look at the past 3 years, on top of the accomplishment of one player who I'm not going to talk about too much. I say 3?
Yeah, I'm repeating that, 3 years.
Oh, I'm sorry. On top of the accomplishment of one player who just happened to score a lot of points, we're not going to talk about that right now. It's an amazing honor to be here with you all to congratulate you, not just as a member of City Council, but also as a board member of PIAA District 12. You guys represent the city, you represent District 12, and we're extremely proud of you. So with that being said, we are here today to honor Orton Reed High School and congratulating Orton Reed High School varsity girls basketball team for their historic three-peat as the 2025 Public League champions, whereas on February 23rd, 2025, the Universal Orton Reed High School Lady Rockets secured their third consecutive Public League championship when they beat Imhotep Lady Panthers 62-52. And
whereas this historic achievement is a testament to the Lady Rockets' exceptional skill, teamwork, and determination, as well as the unwavering commitment of their coaches and support staff. And
whereas head coach Kevin Slaughter played a pivotal role in guiding the team to success, instilling discipline, strategic excellence, and a winning mentality. And
whereas senior guard Shayla Smith demonstrated outstanding leadership, contributing significantly to the team's triumph with her precision shooting and composure under pressure. And
whereas the championship victory was especially meaningful following an intense season, including a narrow 67-64 loss to Imhotep on January 22nd during a 3-game losing streak. And whereas the Lady Rockets displayed remarkable perseverance in the championship game, making strategic adjustments in the second half to pull ahead and secure a 12-point lead. And
whereas the Lady Rockets are using the momentum from this victory to help carry them to the state championship. Girl power.
I know, I got it. Go ahead. Paying attention. You already know. Right here, that's the first one.
Whereas this legislative body is in full support of the Lady Rockets and their continued pursuit of excellence.
Ordinance amending Section 12-701 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Designation of Bicycle Lanes to authorize a bicycle lane on South 59th Street from Market Street to Baltimore Avenue and the removal of a travel lane within the same limits, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill will be referred to your appropriate committee. The chair recognizes Councilmember Thomas.
good morning again, Council President. I have 3 resolutions today.
Thank you very much. Will the chief clerk please read the title of the resolutions?
A privileged resolution celebrating May 5th to 9th, 2025 as Black Teenager Appreciation Week in the city of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution honoring and congratulating George Lane, Brandon Chu, and Denicia George for the prestigious honor of receiving the Gates Scholarship, a distinguished recognition that is awarded to 300 students every year out of nearly 100,000.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution honoring and recognizing Najmile Tamala Anderson for over 20 years of teaching and being named Philadelphia Citizen 2025 Educator of the Year.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The chair recognizes Councilmember Jones.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today I offer 2 bills.
Thank you very much. Will the chief clerk please read the title of the bills?
An ordinance amending Section 12-701 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Designation of Bicycle Lanes to authorize a bicycle lane on Port Royal Avenue from Ridge Avenue to Henry Avenue and removal of a parking lane within the same limits, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And an ordinance amending Title 11 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Streets by enacting a new section requiring the street address to be displayed upon the curb of certain properties, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill be referred to the appropriate committee. The chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau.
Good morning, Council President, everybody here. No bills or resolutions today.
Thank you. The chair recognizes Councilman Quetzalcoatl.
Thank you, Council President. Today I offer 2 privileged resolutions, 2 non-privileged resolutions, and 2 bills.
Thank you very much. Would the chief clerk please read the title of the bills and resolutions?
An ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Health and the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the City of Philadelphia to enter into agreements with the Philadelphia Authority for Industrial Development for the development of a mixed-use condominium and health center facility on the premises located at Frankfurt Avenue in the vicinity of Pratt Street and Dyer Street, owned by FCDC Development Properties 1 LLC or an affiliated entity, and authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property to enter into a long-term lease or sublease agreement for the occupancy and operation of the health center facility on said premises, and authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property to acquire fee simple Title II or a lesser interest in the completed health center facility, including a condominium unit, or to facilitate the transfer of title in the completed health center facility, including a condominium unit, to the Philadelphia Authority for Industrial Development or the municipal authority for the benefit of the city, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And an ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the city to acquire fee, title, or a lesser interest in real estate located on East Roosevelt Boulevard in the vicinity of Langdon Street, known as Friends Campus, for the development, occupancy, and operation of a health center, and enter into related agreements, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a non-privileged resolution renaming the 4700 block of Rising Sun Avenue between Wyoming and Masher Street to Officer Laretha A. Baird Way in honor of her bravery, sacrifice, and dedication to public service.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration at our next session of council.
And a non-privileged resolution renaming the Wissinoming Recreation Center to the Margaret Tartaglione Recreation Center to honor the life legacy of Margaret Marge Tartaglione, a pioneering public servant and leader in Philadelphia politics.
It's a good one. This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration at our next session of council. The chair recognizes Councilman.
There's 2 more.
2 more.
And a privileged resolution authorizing the Special Committee on Kensington to hold a hearing to examine how chronic trauma from exposure to the opioid crisis impacts children's emotional, mental, and behavioral health in the Kensington neighborhood of Philadelphia, and to explore tools, services, and programs to support these youth.
This resolution will be placed on the day's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution recognizing, congratulating, and celebrating the Clara Barton School on the distinguished occasion of its 100-year anniversary, commemorating a century of early childhood academic excellence.
This resolution will be placed on the day's final passage calendar. The chair now recognizes Councilman Jeffrey J. Young.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today I offer 3 bills and one privileged resolution,
Thank you very much. Will the chief clerk please read the title of the bills and resolution?
An ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Parks and Recreation and the Commissioner of Procurement on behalf of the City of Philadelphia to enter into a multi-year concession agreement with German American Marketing, Inc., Christmas Village in Philadelphia for the operation and management of a seasonal Christmas village for the City of Philadelphia at Love Park and other potential city-owned areas.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee, and for the record, City Hall is located in the 5th Councilmatic District. The chair recognizes the chief clerk.
And an ordinance to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Roosevelt Boulevard, 9th Street, Erie Avenue, and Broad Street.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And an ordinance authorizing the revision of lines and grades on a portion of City Plan Number 126 by relocating the easterly house line of Dover Street and the westerly house line of Newkirk Street, each from York Street to Cumberland Street, thereby widening said Dover Street and Newkirk Streets, under certain terms and conditions, including the dedication to the City of Beds of the widened portions of said Dover Street and Newkirk Street.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a privileged resolution honoring the life and legacy of Stephen J. Harmelin, Esquire.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The chair recognizes Minority Leader Kendra Brooks.
I have no bills or resolutions to introduce today. Thank you.
You're welcome. The chair recognizes Councilmember Jim Harity.
Good morning, my brother. I have one non-privileged resolution.
Thank you very much. Will the chief clerk please read the title of the non-privileged resolution?
A non-privileged resolution declaring the month of May as Mental Health Awareness Month in the city of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration at the next session of council. The chair recognizes Councilmember O'Rourke.
Good morning, Mr. President. Thank you. I have one privileged resolution to introduce.
Thank you very much. Will the chief clerk please read the title of the resolution?
A privileged resolution honoring the life and legacy of Reverend Gus Roman, a faithful servant of both the gospel and the people, for his legacy of uplifting Philadelphians and for his unwavering commitment to civil rights locally and abroad.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The chair recognizes Councilman Mike Driscoll.
Morning, Mr. President. I have two bills to offer today.
Thank you very much. Will the chief clerk please read the title of the bills?
An ordinance amending Section 14-500 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Overlay Zoning Districts to add an overlay district pertaining to the activity of mobile service units, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And an ordinance amending Chapter 9-1000 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Trades and amending Title IV, the Philadelphia Building Construction and Occupancy Code, Subcode P of the Philadelphia Code, entitled the Philadelphia Plumbing Code, to add provisions related to the creation and administration of the Master Plumber and Journeyman Plumber examinations.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee. Chair recognizes Councilmember Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer one bill and two non-privileged resolutions.
Thank you very much. Will the chief clerk please read the title of the bill and resolutions?
An ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property on behalf of the City of Philadelphia to acquire fee simple title or a lesser real estate interest in and to all or a portion of the property known as 1822 through 1830 West Cayuga Street, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a non-privileged resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Land Bank to dispose of 423 through 27, 429 through 39, including 429 through 39 rear, East Ashmead Street, 226, 260, 278, and 313, aka 313 through 15 East Bringhurst Street, 49 East Earlham Street, 4635 Germantown Avenue, 30 Good Street, 5608, 5618, 5619, 5642, 5669 High School Street, 4946 Kaiser Street, 5514, 5515, 5642 Morton Street, 6672, 6674 Musgrave Street, 53 East Pastoria Street, 207 East Penn Street, 248 East Phil Elena Street, 42 and 44 Rieger Street, 35 East Seymour Street, 227, 261, 263 East Sharpneck Street, 218, 326, 342, 343 Shadaker Street, 4951, 4957, 4961, and 4975 Sheldon Street, 111 and 112 East Springer Street, and 4925 and 5222 Wakefield Street, located in the 8th Councilmanic District in accordance with the terms of Chapter 16-700 of the Philadelphia Code.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration at the next session of council.
And a non-privileged resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Land Bank to dispose of 1520 through 40 Venango Street and 1600 through 20 Venango Street, located in the 8th Councilmanic District in accordance with the terms of Chapter 16-700 of the Philadelphia Code.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration at our next session of council. The chair recognizes Councilmember Dr. Nina Mott.
Thank you, Council President. I have three privileged resolutions today.
Thank you very much. Will the chief clerk please read the title of the privileged resolutions?
A privileged resolution proclaiming May 2025 as National Tennis Month.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution recognizing May 2025 as ALS Awareness Month in the City of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution proclaiming May 2025 to be American Stroke Month in Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The next order of business, as there are no reports from committees, is the consideration of the calendar. The next order of business is the consideration of the calendar, and the chair recognizes Council Member and Majority Leader Catherine Gilmore Richardson for the purpose of calling up bills and resolutions on the second reading and final passage calendar.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following bills and resolutions are being called up from the second reading and final passage calendars today. Numbers 250428, 250429, 250447, 250448, 250451, 250065, 240581, 240750, 250067, 250068, 250149, 250323, 240665-AA, 250123, and 250151. The following bills and resolutions on the calendar are being held: 250303, 250444, 250461, 250266, and 250267.
Thank you very much, Majority Leader Gilmore Richardson. Before considering these bills and resolutions, we will consider public comment as follows. Your public comment must concern matters on the second reading and final passage calendars for possible action at today's council session. Under ideal circumstances, public commenters each will have 3 minutes to speak. However, this time limit may vary from session to session. This time limit, due to the serial repetitious comments on various pieces of resolutions today, will be 1 minute. In order to be fair to all those speaking, I tend to hold faithfully to the 1 minute limit. When you begin speaking, you will see a green light on the podium. When there are 30 seconds remaining to your time, the light will turn yellow, which is your reminder to please conclude your remarks. Once 1 minute has passed, the light will turn red and the sergeant at arms will disconnect the microphone. At that time, please yield the podium to the next speaker if you have not all those done so already. I also reserve the right pursuant to our rules of City Council to limit repetitious comments on the same subject matter. I will now ask the Chief Clerk to please read the title of our first speaker.
Father Ryan, may Sister Mary, Teresa Feo, Erica Green, Andrickson De Leon, and Kate Perez also make their way to the podium. We have Father Ryan, Sister Mary, Teresa Feo, Erica Green, Andrickson De Leon, and Kate Perez.
Good morning, council members. My name is Jonathan Lai. I'm taking the place of Father today. We're testifying on bills 250266 and 250267. Additionally, my family is located on 47th Street. We're representing Phuwa Mini Market as well as Vietnam Cafe. Now, these businesses aren't just located in the neighborhood. We are residents of that neighborhood, and my brother and I are actually third-generation residents as well. Essentially, it boils down to this, right? Our establishments are more than just businesses. They are vital community pillars. Phuwa and Vietnam Cafe provide service, but also a sense of continuity and heritage in a rapidly changing area. Now, changing 47th Street to that one-way street would significantly have negative impacts on our businesses, including accessibility with customers and suppliers, congestion on neighboring streets, and challenges for local residents. Now, I understand that there were some meetings brought up in the neighborhood, but essentially the sense of community really just has been lost here. Our businesses are going to be impacted from that. The neighborhood's going to be impacted from that. And amazing. Yep.
1 minute. 1 minute, ma'am.
Good morning, Council President and Council members. Vision Zero's goal is to create low-stress, low-risk bike boulevards, but too often these projects shift the burden of stress onto others, including schools, senior citizens, small businesses, and low-income communities. The proposed protected bike lane on 47th Street will reroute southbound traffic into Kingsessing, a community already dealing with congestion. After residents raised concerns, they were excluded from further public engagement, highlighting whose voices got prioritized. At St. Francis de Sales School, staff are already struggling to protect students and seniors from high-speed electric bikes and scooters that routinely ignore traffic laws. This situation will only worsen if this lane is built. Nearly 88 to 100 seniors navigate curbs and shuttles at the Star Harbor Senior Center each day. They've had near misses with cyclists who don't stop for red lights or yield to paratransit vans. Many in our elderly community also oppose this plan, especially since parallel roads already have bike lanes. Otis' response last week to the loss of 30 to 40 parking spots at the school is to ticket the parents and teachers. Their plan to push school parking into a nearby business lot.
Good morning and respect to everyone. I'm Ms. Green, principal at Conwell Middle Magnet School, and I believe in the words of Dr. Connie E. Clayton, former superintendent of schools, do what is right, fair, and just for the kids. Every message that I have is always about that. So good morning again. Conwell Middle Magnet School is located in the heart of Kensington, in the heart of the opioid crisis. It is an open-air drug market, and it is unacceptable that any child attend there. Conwell was once in a thriving community and neighborhood full of businesses, churches, and families that were proud to live there, and they still are despite everything that was going on. They work there still in pride despite everything that's going on. They have been a part of this community, but over the past 2 decades, we have witnessed a steady decline marked by addiction, violence, tragedy. Our children, elementary school students, middle and high school, they deserve better, and we're counting on all of you. They are walking to school. They are dodging bullets. They are dodging people struggling with addiction. Unacceptable. Do what is right and fair for the children. We cannot harm them. You cannot look at kids and think that this is okay. It is not. Patsy Lozada has been a fierce advocate. It is not okay.
Oh, okay.
It's not okay.
Hello, my name is Andrickson. I am a 5th grader from Gloria Casares Elementary. I am here to speak in support of Bill 240665AA. Each day when I walk to school, I see people pass out near the corner store. Some of them look like they need medical attention. I feel bad for the people because it looks like they didn't have a good life or get a good education. They shouldn't be rotting in the streets, especially where I live and go to school. I feel scared when people who look like zombies get close to me because I feel like they want to hurt me. It would be good if the people in my neighborhood could get services to help them away from my home and school. Can you add mobile services for them? Thank you.
We also have Delilah Garcia, Khalil Davis, Sophia Yadianis, Mateo Sanchez, and Javaya Robinson.
Hi, my name is Delilah. I'm a 4th grader from Gloria Casares, here to speak in support of Bill number 240665AA. I believe that no one should be able to throw anything they use on the streets. When I walk to and from school, I see trash all over our streets. And it's not just that. I also see glass, needles, and other things that make our neighborhood unsafe and dirty. Everyone and every family deserves to feel safe. I don't feel comfortable witnessing people using drugs or receiving medical attention in my neighborhood. I think there should be a specific building or place where medical services could be provided, away from academic learning and homes. We want kids to be able to enjoy their lives and be able to play outside. We want to enjoy the fresh air. Because of the lack of safety, most kids only use electronics. We want to live safe and careful, not scared and careless. Thank you.
Take your time.
Go ahead. Come on.
Take your time. You only have 1 minute. You only have 1 minute.
All right, so you got to start. Okay.
You can start.
My name is Khalil. I am a 5th grade student at Gloria Casares, speaking in support of Bill number 240665AA. When I walk to school, I see containers of needles. Sometimes they aren't in the container and around the floor for me to step over. I am disturbed when I see large groups of people getting medical attention in front of a parking lot. I always see them there down the block from my house. It makes me feel scared to see this. Seeing this daily makes me uncomfortable when I am at school trying to ignore it, but that doesn't work. I want people to receive medical services in a place that is not near my home or school. Thank you.
My name is Christopher, and I am a fifth grader from Gloria at Caceres Elementary School. I am a support in helping people with medical needs with the bill of 2406665AA. This bill will help people with addictions and get them help to protect kids and families. When I walk to school, I see many people that are not moving and need medical help. I'm just a kid. I want to go outside and feel like I'm safe. Let us have our childhoods. You can't take that from us. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Javaya. I'm a fifth grader from Gloria Caceres Elementary. I am here to speak in support of Bill number 2406665AA. Every day I see drug dealers when I'm going to and from school. All day long, cars stop in front of my house and the drug dealers get money. I don't want to see that. So we decided to come here to help you. We want to tell you what is right and what is wrong. It's wrong for medical services for people in addition to be located near schools and houses like mine. It's right to vote for Councilwoman Casey Lozada bill.
We also have Mateo Sanchez, Javaya Robinson, May Kate Perez, Miss Najmele Anderson, and George Lane also make their way to the podium.
Our city council has been playing powerless during the past 2 years of a live stream holocaust carried out by our sister city and still actively refusing to take tangible action in stopping the transfer of weapons from leaving our ports. Police act with impunity, but especially in Philadelphia when they know most of their firings are overturned and they'll still get a pay raise as the commissioner is bragging that their teams are talented at escalating situations like the recent brutalization of Swarthmore students protesting their university's financial aiding and abetting in Zionist war crimes. Political prisoner Mamiya has a talk show behind bars uplifting the plight of the Palestinian and connecting our struggles as our oppressors trade and collaborate with each other. The police built the bomb and dropped it on our citizens. After maintaining a blockade on the block for a year, preventing people from bringing food into their own homes, today marks 67 days of complete blockade where civilians are starving to death. We have people in Philadelphia traveling to the West Bank to record war crimes. How are we going to prevent our bombs from dropping on our citizens? This Monday, the Israeli government announced they don't want the hostages, they want the land, and will be pushing Palestinians into one concentration camp. NADA in North Gaza is asking you to stop sending them more weapons. Last Thursday, they bombed the flotilla in carrying humanitarian aid in international waters. 70% of all burn victims in Gaza are children.
Good morning. I just want to thank council. I want to thank Isaiah Thomas for recognizing me with this resolution today. There is no greater vocation than being a teacher. And there is no job that is the most disrespected than being a teacher. Every day we're in our classrooms and we are teaching the generation that's going to take care of us when our hair fall out and our teeth are on the floor. But our position is not respected. And there's nothing sexy about being a teacher, the way it is presented. Not even talking about money, but just the idea that you can put anybody in front of these precious gems that you have sacrificed your life for as parents, that you love and that you care about. My shirt says Link Destinies, Teachers and Students, because if you don't see that your destiny is linked to the child in front of you, then you need to reconsider what you're doing in education. Thank you.
We have George Lane. We have George Lane, May Jose Rivera, Susan Fasulo, Adriana George, Mitch Harewood, John Goodwin, Jeremy Bladstein, and Ray Alvarez also make their way to the podium.
Good morning, Council President, and good morning, City Council. On the behalf of the other two gay scholars, we just want to thank City Council for recognizing us and just thanking God for putting us in this position and be able to have this scholarship. This scholarship is so rare, and we had the ability to go to school for free and live out our dreams. We're all going on pre-med majors and hoping to be the next future doctors in our society. I also want to thank my villages that made me. A lot of people can say they self-made, but along my journey, I have received advice and received mentorship from people all along my journey, even with Councilman Curtis Jones, Councilman Thomas, Council President, Councilman Nicholas O'Rourke, Councilman Mark Phillips. I mean Anthony Phillips, my bad. And just with everything, thank you, Council, and have a good day.
Hello, members of City Council. My name's Jeremy Bladstein. Hate has no place in Philadelphia. I come here every week because I believe in the city and because I want it to be a place where everyone feels safe and welcome. But over the past year and a half, the Jewish community has not felt your support, at least not where it matters most, in public. This past Saturday night at Barstool Sansom Street, Mo Khan thought it would be an edgy joke to have a bottle service sign that said, F the
We have Jose Rivera, Susan Fasulo, Adriana George, Mitch Harewood, John Goodwin, Ray Alvarez.
Thank you. I want to thank the president and the council and also my council lady and the community that's working behind her 100%. Yes, we need a change for health reasons, because if we don't have health, we don't have nothing. We need to improve and clean up our community. And we have to come to a conclusion and say enough is enough. Let's do the right thing. Let's unite and make things happen. That's the only way we can do it. And living here in Philadelphia for over 60 years, I've seen a lot of things in Philadelphia. I've seen the good and bad, and I want to see it better. Thank you so much.
Please state your name for the record before you give your testimony, please.
My name is Raymond Alvarez. I'm the CEO of La Liga del Barrio, a youth basketball league that has served over 18,000 children and families in Philadelphia, especially in the Kensington area in the 7th District. I'm here today with strong support for Bill number 240665 on behalf of our youth and the families who currently live in the affected areas or who were forced to leave their homes because of this devastating opiate crisis. Our kids deserve safe sidewalks and clean blocks, not corners crowded with needles, discarded paraphernalia, or trauma of public suffering. They deserve to walk to school, to the park, or to practice without fear or exposure to unsafe, unregulated mobile services. The bill does not criminalize care. It brings order to chaos. It ensures that those providing services in our neighborhoods do so with proper equipment, medical oversight, and respect the dignity of families who call these streets home. We support compassionate outreach, but compassionate must be coupled with accountability. The legislation protects both. To be clear, our families are not anti-help. They are anti-harm. And right now, the unregulated environment surrounding mobile services providers is hurting the very people it claims to help.
Sorry, sir. Time's up.
Thank you.
My name is Adriana George, and I'm an organizer for the National Domestic Workers Alliance and We Dream in Black Philadelphia chapter. I am here today to reiterate my support for the POWER Act. On a regular basis, I've seen workers who are too afraid of retaliation, especially getting fired, or involving authorities like ICE to ask for what is due to them. I have also seen how immigrants have become a scapegoat for any social ills in this country, and I hope that Philadelphia does not continue that trend and instead proclaims that immigrant workers and US-born workers can stand hand in hand in solidarity, fighting to make all of our workplaces safe. We are domestic workers who are fighting for the rights of the cashier at your local grocery store, the teenager at the fast food place, and the immigrant worker at a hip restaurant. All workers deserve respect, and all workers deserve more power in our city. This is why I'm standing behind Councilmember Kendra Brooks, who introduced the POWER Act. She listened to workers' needs and work in collaboration. Thank you, Ms. Brooks, and I hope you all vote yes today.
Good morning. My name is Mitch, and I'm a domestic worker in Philadelphia for 27 years. I'm proud of the care provided for families throughout my career. Today, I'm here to speak in support of the POWER Act because workers deserve to feel safe and secure in the workplace. And I'm excited knowing that this law will provide an extra layer of protection for workers. But workers like myself also lack value, respect, and dignity in our workplace. I've seen and experienced firsthand how retaliation plays out when domestic workers stand up for their rights. It's a common widespread problem in Philadelphia. It's time for Philadelphia to enforce labor laws properly and provide a resource necessary to protect the 16,000 domestic workers and the 750,000 workers in the Philadelphia city. This is why I'm urging the City Council to pass the POWER Act and fully fund the Office of Worker Protection with $3.1 million so that the agency can have a resource necessary to fulfill and implement this law. Thank you.
May we have Luis Hincape, Sandra Downey, Sonia Bingham, Kristen Ostendorf, Andre Golub, James Washington, and Courtney Richardson also make their way to the podium.
Hi, good morning. Name is Sandra, and I'm originally from Jamaica. I've lived in the West Oakland here of Philadelphia for 18 years, and I've been a home care worker and a house cleaner for the past 15 years. And I'm a proud member of the National Domestic Workers Alliance. I'm here to ask you to vote yes for the POWER Act in the name of domestic workers and in the name of other marginalized workers who made the city run. Too often, we as domestic workers are faced with retaliation in the workplace, and when they take a stand for their right without the employers being held accountable. Passing the POWER Act provides a clear path, and the government needs to follow to hold bad actors, employees accountable, and we gain stronger protection for all workers in Philadelphia. Passing the POWER Act says to workers that Philadelphia is a place that empowers workers to come forward. They experience abuse in their workplace, knowing that they have the government that support them. This makes the city so much safer and stronger, and a place where workers can strive. Provide the Department of Labor with $3.1 million for the Office of Workers Protection, meaning that the City Council takes enforcement of right and protection for the city of of Philadelphia seriously. Thank you.
My name is John Goodwin. I'm the owner of the K&A Boxing Gym in Kensington. I'm here in support of the Lakatos Bill 240665. I deal with it every day. I only got a minute, so I deal with it every day. I keep Narcan on my gate, three things of Narcan they drop off, because I'm out there every day when I'm training the fighters, the young kids, constant ODs, food giveaways outside, rats. I could go on and on and on, the problems I have there. And when I seen this bill, I had to come down here to see, because this is a really good bill that will protect the neighbors. None of the neighbors want that giveaway, food giveaway or stuff like that, but the addicts that just fall out constantly, I'm outside bringing them back together, and I can go on and on and on. I have nothing written down, so it's a big problem, Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Kristen Ostendorf. I'm a priest in the Episcopal Diocese of Pennsylvania, and I'm a member of the Clare Project. We provide compassionate outreach on the streets of Kensington and offer medical and rehab referrals when we are able to and when they are requested. We share the concerns that many of the residents of Kensington, and thank you to our young friends who spoke up with their courage. We share those concerns. However, the bill as written will not address them. A recent incident that happened just this week where we were administering Narcan to a man who was clearly in the last stages of an overdose, suffering from agonal breathing, demonstrates that. The police arrived, they beeped their horns, they wanted us to move along. We had to ask them to call 911 for this man. They did not ask any questions about where this man got his substances. They did not do anything to investigate the criminal activity that was going along. All they wanted us to do was move along. Let's work together. Let's find a solution that has mercy and compassion and hope. Good faith people can disagree on policy, but this policy is not the right one. Thank you.
Luis Hincapié, I'm here in support of Bill 240665. I've been in the medical field for 27 years in the district, and I believe this is a wonderful opportunity for us to do the right thing. There are infirmed, sick people that need this mobile service. However, you heard the children. There are children with brains that are just developing and are ingrained with images that they should not see. Now, we have the ability as adults to do the right thing. What is the right thing? Let's use this bill to take this great service, put it in a contained area where we don't have to teach our children that filth is the norm. It's not the norm. You know, when I leave Philadelphia, the two things that I hear from non-Philadelphians is, oh, filth and homicides. Come on, guys. Let's do the right thing. Let's let the people that need this mobile services get the service, but let's not have filth.
Thank you.
May Benedita Rivera, Lilia Oliveira, Rosa Ortiz, Nancy Negron, Hector Ayala, Isabel Nunez, and Marta Peña and Ana Martinez also make their way to the podium.
Audrey Golub from Conwell. First, let me say I feel sorry for the people who are so addicted to drugs that they put themselves in the position they find themselves in today. I understand that they are suffering, and I have compassion for them as human beings. I know they need medical attention, food, and supports for living on the streets. But please note that I said they put themselves in that position. They had a choice, and they still have choices. Help is available for them to aid in recovery. My students and the residents of Kensington have no choice. The residents that live in this neighborhood have to constantly be on alert not to step on needles or in human feces or vomit. The children must walk or drive through this neighborhood witnessing things that no child should see. I have come out of school to find addicts defecating in front of the school building or in between cars in the parking lot. I saw an addict using my car mirror to shoot drugs into his neck. I have personally called 911 at least 3 times to report unresponsive people lying in the middle of the sidewalk. I don't care to be exposed to these situations either, but I am a grown woman. Our students are children and are seeing these things, and they think it's normal. It's not fair or equitable. They deserve better.
Good morning, Council President Johnson and members of City Council. My name is Courtney Richardson, and I serve as the president of the Barristers Association of Philadelphia. I'm here today in strong support of Resolution 250451, introduced by Councilmember Jones, to rename the 5300 block of Girard Avenue Barristers Way. The Barristers were founded 75 years ago on January 12, 1950 by 13 Black attorneys at Crystal's Tea Room, located right on that block. Since then, we've grown into the largest association of Black attorneys in the Commonwealth with approximately 1,000 members and are proudly affiliated with the National Bar Association. We take seriously the message of Charles Hamilton Houston that a lawyer is either a social engineer or a parasite on society. For 75 years, we have strived to be social engineers, advocates, and mentors. Barristers is about legacy. We recently lost Larry Turner, who started the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Breakfast in the basement of Mother Bethel, and it's now grown to over 700 guests, including Governor Josh Shapiro and Philadelphia's 100th Mayor, Sherrill. Thank you.
Good morning, James Washington, Russell H. Conwell Middle Magnet School, School Administrator, and I support Bill 240665AA. And I have a poem. It's called When I Get There. My 30-minute drive to work makes me wonder how I survive. My drive includes a few minutes on the highway, which takes me away from my home, but it's okay because I pray each and every day. Early in the morning, my eyes feel like bricks, which reminds me of The Matrix, which is a classic and moving in slow motion, reflecting but still boasting about the connection and affection for my profession. Anticipating what is next, but I can't go back because my final destination may be whacked. When I get close and turn onto a street where people are bent over or asleep and the sight is unbelievably deep, when I get there. I drive farther, and sometimes I think I need body armor. A crowd of people are walking around like zombies because someone yelled out, "Yo, they're giving out freebies. Is this a tease?" I think not, because soon I will be seeing dead bodies. I try to focus and forget about the sights outside of my car window, then I see trash and debris. I'm still thinking about who will be the next hero to bring this neighborhood back from being a zero. When I get there. Yes, there are days when the neighborhood has been deprived. However, I still see hope and not goodbyes. As I turn into a parking lot, I'm not surprised by the trash, human feces, syringes, other things to minimize the happiness that is trying to intensify.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Sonia Bingham. I stand in strong support of Bill 240665AA. I think it's really important to note that I think it's a real tragedy that I have to stand here asking for some sort of guardrails, guidelines, some sort of order within our community. It has been a virtual OK corral. And I see the people that are coming in here to support asking us to yet endure or be more sympathetic and put the onus on us as if we have to care, because I don't. No one cares about what I have to go through to pay the bills, to put the food on the table as a single mother of 3 college-age students whose daughters graduated from Spelman in December. No one cares. But we have to care. Not on my block, not in my community, and not on my watch.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Isabel Alvarado y vengo presentando a la señora Casey.
Good morning. My name is Isabel Alvarado, and I'm here to represent Mrs. Kelsey.
Y le estoy pidiendo a esta gente que ayuden, por favor, a los niños, porque es triste que nuestros niños tengan que estar todas las mañanas viendo tantas cosas feas en la calle de Filadelfia.
And I come here in order to ask you all to help us help the children that every day I see being exposed to all these things over there.
Y también que respeten las propiedades privadas.
And also so that private property is respected.
Hagan su trabajo, pero que lo hagan en sitios donde no haya tanto niño y cojan tantas las propiedades de las personas, por favor.
Please do your job, but make sure that the children are protected and that the property is protected. Do it for the children, please.
Muchas gracias y es para todos los niños y todas las personas que vivimos aquí en Filadelfia.
Thank you very much for listening to me. This is on behalf of all the children and all the people living here in Philadelphia.
Council be at ease. The chair recognizes Majority Leader Gilmore Richardson.
Thank you, Council President, and thank you for this opportunity. I'd like to be excused for very important council business, and I'd like to be recorded as voting aye on all bills and resolutions. Thank you.
Thank you. Leave is granted. Please state your name for the record and begin, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Benansi Nunez, and I am a native 7th District. I was born and raised in the 7th District as well, and I would like to have a few words in support of Kelsey Losada's bill. Kensington and Allegheny, as a child, I've witnessed what these children are witnessing today. Except for this day and age, it is way worse than 20 years ago. And I want to say, I've walked past people overdosing. I've seen needles on sidewalks, watched violence unfold in front of me and in others' residents' steps. And I would say with that, it breaks my heart in knowing that the kids coming up after me or after our next generation is still seeing the same things from 20 years ago. But I haven't lost hope because leaders like Councilwoman Losada is fighting for us. She's fighting for our district. Her dedication to our community is real, and I want to personally thank her for standing up for the people of Kensington and the 7th District. This is why I fully support Bill 246-65AA. It's time we start protecting our children, restoring our neighborhood, and holding people accountable. We deserve better, and we are ready for this change. Thank you.
Listo. Buenos días. Mi nombre es Bernardita Rivera, vivo en el sur de Filadelfia y tengo 23 años trabajando, limpiando casas, cuidando personas de la tercera edad y niños. Estoy aquí hoy para apoyar el acto poder y espero que voten si lo hagan ley.
Good morning. My name is Bernardita. I live in South Philadelphia, and I have 23. I've been working for 20. No? Sorry. Is it better? Good morning. My name is Bernardita. I live in South Philadelphia, and I've been working for 23 years, cleaning houses and taking care of seniors and children. I'm here today to support the Power Act, and I hope you will vote yes and pass it into law.
Esta ley hará que los trabajadores se sientan más seguros en el trabajo, porque esta ley hará que los trabajadores estén más dispuestos a defender sus derechos y así los trabajadores podrían beneficiarse plenamente de sus salarios. lo que significa que Filadelfia será un lugar mejor para todos los trabajadores.
This law will make workers feel safer in the job because this law will make workers more willing to stand up for their rights, and so workers would be able to fully benefit from their wages, which means Philadelphia will be a better place for all workers.
Así es muy importante que el gobierno apoye a los trabajadores cuando intentan defender sus derechos. Y por eso también exigimos que se le proporcione 3.1 millones de trabajadores a las oficinas de protección a los trabajadores para que esta oficina tenga los recursos necesarios para hacer el respaldo que necesitan los trabajadores.
So it is very important that the government support workers when they are trying to defend their rights, and it is why we are demanding $3.1 million to be provided for the Office of Worker Protections so that this office has the necessary resources to be the support that workers need.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Mi nombre es Lilia, soy mexicana, vivo en el sureste de Filadelfia por 23 años, trabajo limpiando casas desde hace 22 años y soy miembro de la Alianza Nacional de Trabajadores del Hogar. Por eso estoy aquí para apoyar el Acto Poder, porque como trabajadoras del hogar nos sentiríamos más seguras y protegidas para defender nuestros derechos cuando un empleador no respeta la ley. Si esta ley hubiese existido en el pasado, yo no hubiera sufrido un robo de salario y podría negociar un contrato. Invito a todos los concejales aquí presentes que voten sí a esta nueva ley y también que le den a la Oficina de Protección a los Trabajadores 3.1 millones para que puedan hacer el trabajo de aplicar las leyes laborales apropiadas y rápidamente. Muchas gracias a todos los miembros del concejal.
My name is Lilia. I am Mexican. I have lived in Southeast Philadelphia for 23 years. I have been cleaning houses for 22 years. I am a member of the National Domestic Workers Alliance. This is why I am here to support the POWER Act, because as domestic workers, we will feel more secure and protected to defend our rights when an employer does not respect the law. If this law had existed in the past, I would not have suffered wage theft because I did not speak English and could not negotiate a contract with my employer. He did not pay me for the work that I did. I invite all the council members here to vote yes for this new law, and also to give the Office of Worker Protections $3.1 million in FY26 budgeting so that they can do the job of enforcing labor laws properly and quickly. Thank you very much to all of the members of council.
Buenos días, miembros del comité. Me llamo Rosa. Vivo en el norte de Filadelfia. Soy limpiadora de casas y fui nanny por 16 años. Hoy soy miembro de la Alianza Nacional de Trabajadores del Hogar. Estoy aquí para hablar en apoyo del Acto Poder, porque así nosotras, las trabajadoras del hogar, tendremos más apoyo para ayudar a más personas. Si nosotras, otras personas no pudieran trabajar, cuidamos a sus hijos, personas mayores, si no pueden o no tienen tiempo para limpiar, nosotros lo hacemos. Y muchos empleadores no nos quieren recompensar lo debido y nos quitan horas, nos quitan el sueldo y eso no es justo. Yo tuve una experiencia cuánto me hubiera gustado tener este respaldo. Yo tuve una clienta que no quería pagar lo justo y me pedía más trabajo del que correspondía a mi pago. Y cuando me fui de ese trabajo, a la trabajadora del hogar que recomendé la maltrataron. Le dieron mucho trabajo y le dijeron malas palabras. Y hasta la acusaron de estar indocumentada, solo porque exigía un trato justo. El Acto Poder nos podría haber respaldado y también dar consecuencias a una empleadora como ella. Por eso les pido que voten sí al Acto Poder. Gracias.
Good morning, council members. My name is Rosa. I live in North Philadelphia. I'm a house cleaner, and I was a nanny for 16 years. Today, I'm a member of the National Domestic Workers Alliance. I'm here to speak in support of the POWER Act because we domestic workers will have more support to help more people. Without us, other people wouldn't be able to work. We take care of their children, the elderly, and if they can't or don't have time to clean, we do it. And a lot of employers don't want to give us what is due, compensation, and they take hours away from us and they take our pay, and it's not fair. I had an experience where I would have liked to have the backing of the POWER Act. I had a client who did not pay what was fair and asked to do more work than what my pay was given. And when I left the job, the domestic worker I recommended was mistreated, overworked, and called bad names, and even accused of being undocumented just because she demanded fair treatment. The POWER Act could have supported us and also given consequences to an employer like her. That is why I ask you to vote yes to this act today. Thank you for listening to my testimony.
Me llamo Ana Martínez y estoy aquí con el Comité de Trabajadores de Restaurantes. Soy mexicana, trabajadora de restaurantes, pero sobre todo soy madre soltera de 2 pequeños.
My name is Anna, and I am here with a committee of restaurant workers. I am Mexican, a restaurant worker, but more importantly, I am a single mother of 2 little ones.
Vengo hoy en apoyo de la ley Power, no solo por mí, sino por todos los trabajadores actuales y futuros de la ciudad, incluyendo a mis propios hijos. Quiero que en Filadelfia sea un lugar seguro y que apoye a todos sus trabajadores, inmigrantes o no. Sin nosotros, ¿qué sería de esta ciudad?
I come in support of the POWER Act, not only for myself, for all current and future workers in the city, including my own children. I want Philadelphia to be a safe and supportive place for all its workers, immigrant or not. Without us, what would the city be?
Durante mi tiempo en el sector servicios, desagradablemente he sido víctima de acoso en el lugar de trabajo. Cuando se lo comuniqué a mi empleador, el daño que sufrí fue ignorado. Como la única mujer en ese restaurante, sentí que no importaba mientras veía a mi jefe hacer bromas con mi agresor. Tras múltiples intentos fallidos de alzar la voz, decidí que no podía seguir trabajando en un lugar que no me valoraba, que no se preocupaba de investigar, de creerme, de protegerme. Tuve que preguntarme cuánto veneno estaba dispuesta a tomar antes de que me matara.
During my time in the service industry, I unfortunately have been a victim of harassment in the workplace. When I communicated this to my employer, the harm I suffered was dismissed. As the only woman in that restaurant, I felt like I didn't matter as I watched my boss make jokes with my abuser. After multiple failed attempts to speak up, I decided I couldn't work in a place that didn't value me, that didn't care to investigate, to believe me, to protect me. I had to ask myself, how much poison was I willing to take before it killed me?
Era yo la primera mujer ignorada por este empleador, lo dudo mucho. Por todo ello, mi petición a los concejales es que financien totalmente la oficina de protección. Sin esta financiación, ¿cómo vamos a exigir responsabilidades a quienes han negado activamente los derechos de los trabajadores? Sin un sistema organizado y que funcione para investigar a los malos empleadores y proteger a los trabajadores. De ahí el nombre, la gente de esta ciudad nunca sentirá el amor fraternal que supuestamente decimos tener.
Was I the first woman to be ignored by my employer? I highly doubt it. Because of this, my request for you council members is to fully fund the Office of Workers' Protection. Without this funding, how will we hold accountable those who have actively denied workers' rights? Without an effective, organized, and functioning system to investigate by the employers and protect workers, the people of the city will never feel the brotherly love we supposedly claim to hold.
Thank you.
Hola, mi nombre es Hailey. Soy miembro del Comité de Trabajadores de Restaurante. Yo he vivido toda mi vida aquí en Filadelfia y soy descendiente de padres mexicanos. Trabajar en restaurantes o en cualquier otra industria de servicio no es fácil. Siendo inmigrante y mujer, soy vulnerable a la explotación de un empleador, igual que muchos de mis compañeros en este cuarto. Pero hoy me encuentro animada y con muchas ganas de seguir adelante, porque cuando esta ley entre en acción nos protegerá a todos nosotros como trabajadores, incluyendo a mis padres. Los jefes no tomarán represalias contra nosotros sabiendo que hay una ley que nos respalda, que nos permite hablar y defender nuestros derechos. Por fin, el respeto y la dignidad que merecemos se reflejará en las leyes de nuestra ciudad, ya que nadie está por encima de la ley. Mi miedo siempre ha sido en ir con mi empleador y pedir mejores condiciones y tratos en el lugar de trabajo. Y con esta ley pierdo este miedo. Ahora tengo la confianza en mi empleador, en mis compañeros y en mi ciudad para hacer lo que amo. No solo quiero que escuchen ese testimonio, sino que lo apoyen. Todos tenemos el deber de exigir y defender la justicia. Unidos venceremos. Gracias a ustedes por este espacio y escuchar mis palabras. Gracias.
Working in restaurants or any other service industry for that matter is not easy. As an immigrant and a woman, I am vulnerable to exploitation by an employer, as are my fellow workers in this room. But today I find myself encouraged and eager to move forward because when this law goes into action, it will protect us all as workers, including my parents. The bosses will not retaliate against us knowing that there is a law that backs us up, that allows us to speak and defend our rights. Finally, the respect and dignity we deserve will be reflected in the laws of our city, as no one is above the law. I not only want you to hear this testimony, I want you to support it. We all have a duty to demand and defend justice. United, we will win. Thank you for this space and listening to my words.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Daneira, soy miembro del Comité de Trabajadores de Restaurante y tengo 15 años trabajando en la industria restaurantera y con certeza puedo decir que hacen falta cambios, más información para los trabajadores y castigos severos para los empleadores y supervisores. Durante este periodo me ha tocado ver y ser parte de tantas injusticias y maltratos hacia nosotros como trabajadores, pero hoy, con su apoyo y con la implementación de la ley Poder, podemos decir basta, no más injusticias, no más represalias, porque merecemos sentirnos seguros en nuestros lugares de trabajo, porque esta ley no solo beneficia a los empleados, sino también a nuestras familias, a la comunidad y a nuestra ciudad. Y si algún empleador está en contra de este cambio, deberíamos de preguntarnos de qué es lo que esconde o de qué tiene miedo. Afortunadamente, tenemos de nuestro lado a dueños de restaurantes que apoyan esta ley y eso nos da confianza y abre la puerta para el cambio. Gracias por su tiempo. Nuestro futuro está en sus manos.
Good morning. My name is Daniela, and I am a member of the Committee of Restaurant Workers. I have been working in the restaurant industry for 15 years, and I can confidently say that changes are needed. More information for workers and severe punishments for employers and supervisors. During this time, I have witnessed and been a part of so many injustices and mistreatment directed at us workers. But today, with your support and the implementation of the Power Act, we can say enough is enough. No more injustices, no more retaliation, because we deserve to feel safe in our workplaces. This law not only benefits employees, but also families, our community, and our city. If an employer is against this change, we should ask ourselves, what are they hiding and what are they afraid of? Fortunately, we have restaurant owners on our side who support this law, and that gives us confidence and opens the door for change. Thank you for your time. We leave our future in your hands.
May we also have Doniera Lorenzo, Luis Cortez, Carmen Ortiz, Leah Sierra, George Torres, Kelly Gisson, and Benakia Nunez also make their way to the podium.
Buenas tardes. A miembro que sí lo sabe, la concejal y demás personas. Mi nombre es Marta Peña.
My name is Marta Peña.
Vengo en representación de los niños y los negocios. Yo soy una persona que tengo una niña de 11 años hoy, pero hace unos años, aproximadamente 6, una persona de la calle, no sé cómo decirlo porque no quiero ofender, pero una persona no en sus 5 sentidos.
About 6 years ago, somebody that wasn't in all of their senses, I don't want to be offensive in the way that I express myself,
Trató de llevarme mi niña de los brazos.
my arms, and I was trying to embrace her.
Solo logró llevarse el trajecito que cargaba a la niña, dejándomela desnuda en la calle. me dejó, se llevó el trajecito de las niñas, dejándome las niñas desnudas en la calle.
That person was taking my child, and as I was trying to save her, they were only able to take my child's clothes, and I was left with my child naked.
También yo tengo un negocio donde yo soy estilista.
I also have a business where I'm a stylist.
Es en Kensington, 1811 East Somerset.
It's in Kensington, 1811 East Summit.
Donde las agujas es en la misma rampa y acera.
The needles are all over the ramp and the same sidewalk.
Yo también fui de las personas que me clavé una aguja también.
I am a person that has also suffered getting punctured by one of these needles.
Afortunadamente estaba limpia.
Fortunately, it was a clean needle.
Pero desafortunadamente también ahí se ven muchas cosas que los niños de la escuela, y en especial también mi hija, y en nombre de todos los niños, tienen que cruzar eso y mirar cosas que no voy a decir porque son cosas feas.
But the unfortunate part about this is that children, my daughter, and in the name of all the children, have to go through these streets, these sidewalks with needles, and they have to also witness unfortunate things too.
No estoy... Pues gracias y buena tarde.
I want to thank you.
We have Luis Cortez, Carmen Ortiz, Leah Sierra, George Torres, Kelly Gilson, Benakia Nunez, Fabio Rivera, Paul Bartlett, and Tony Heel also make their way to the podium.
Go ahead. State your name for the record. Good morning. My name is Carmen Ortiz. I am a retired school district, and I live in the 7th District. I spent a decade helping children through the trauma and addiction in our homes and in our blocks. Now I am retired, and I still see the same thing, pain, right outside my door. Every day, I see people suffering. We need help that heals everyone, not just those in crisis. Children walking to school, seniors living alone, and families. I support the bill 240665AA because no one should feel fear or discomfort in the place they called home. On top of that, as a taxpayer and homeowner, I think that we deserve the quality of better living. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Leah Sierra, and I come before you as a granddaughter, that was my mama, a neighbor, and a young woman who sees firsthand what's happening to the 7th District every day. My grandmother lives in Kensington, and so do other members of my family, and I'm here to tell you that it's not just statistics being affected, it's people. People that are trying to live decent, dignified lives in the middle of a crisis that they didn't ask to be a part of. We aren't talking about a lack of compassion or turning our backs on those that are struggling. We're talking about balance. The right to sit on your front steps, feel safe, or have children feeling safe while walking to school and not having to walk over needles, or seniors being able to bring in their groceries without fear because someone is passed out on their porch. I've seen it with my own eyes. Mobile units that claim to be helping that aren't always coordinated. They come in, hand things out, and leave without cleanup or support for those who actually live there. My grandmother is expected to go through this, to smile and just understand while her block, where I grew up, becomes a failed dumping ground. We ask that these service providers show the same care for residents that they do for the recipients of their aid, that they work with the community instead of just driving through it, because my family, neighbors, and community deserve to be safe and not just be collateral damage. I support Bill 240665AA because it's about protecting those who are always left out of policy conversations. This isn't about neglecting the vulnerable, but protecting the invisible. Thank you.
We'll shut off your mic, okay?
Okay, cool. My name is Kelly, or more commonly known as Scout Gilson, and I have a message. To all of those who vote in favor of 240665, this is what you tell our children, that if you need help, you are to be feared, you are to be dehumanized, you are to starve and dehydrate. And those that dare offer you aid in those most vulnerable moments are to be punished and criminalized. I don't want children to have their neighborhood back. None of the people in this room are young enough to have experienced a neighborhood that wasn't marked with violent systemic poverty, with discriminatory drug policy and social stigma surrounding needing help. Instead, I want them to be shown what brotherly love means. I want it to be demonstrated so that they know that if they're ever in need, that they need not fear being the fourth person in line. That those in need have their needs met by another person. I am lucky enough to say that in August, I will have 5 years off of opioids. I have survived the fentanyl epidemic. I received that message as a child. I want to break that cycle. We can do that together. People need help beyond the hours of 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. or what, 6 a.m., 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. Between F and Allegheny on Kensington. It's a really easily, yeah, what's the exact? Yeah, but, yeah, either way.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Evelyn Nunez, and I serve as the CEO and superintendent of Esperanza Academy, an institution deeply rooted in Kensington community and dedicated to providing not just education, but refuge, stability, and hope for our students and families. I'm here today to voice my support for Bill 24665, a measure that will bring much-needed structure to the deployment of mobile service providers by designating appropriate areas and protecting our safe corridors, residential blocks, but most urgently, the spaces around our schools. As someone born and raised in Kensington, and as a lifelong educator and advocate, I come to you today, not just with data, but with a heavy heart, a deep sense of urgency. I have witnessed up close the trauma etched into the daily lives of our children. Kensington is now known as one of the largest open-air drug markets in the country. But for our students, some as young as 5, I see every day, this is not a statistic. It is the reality that they walk through each and every day. How can we expect these young minds to focus on multiplication tables, on reading comprehension, on dreams of college and career, when every single day, their path to school teaches them fear and despair? Our schools are meant to be sanctuaries, but how can we nurture minds and spirits when what waits for them outside is fear and despair? I ask you to consider this bill and to please pass it today. Thank you.
We have Fabio Rivera, Paul Bartlett, Tony Heel, Maylin Landis, Joan Pape, Sam Pfeiffer, Aileen Callahan, Kwame Achapialong, Crystal Greenberg, and Jim Cummings also make their way to the podium.
Hello, my name is Tony Heil with ALS United Mid-Atlantic, and I'm speaking in support of ALS Awareness Month. We want to thank Council Members Ahmad and Driscoll for making this resolution possible. And I'm joined today by my friends who are living with ALS, Eric, Julian, and Doug, who are here today, my friend Mary Ellen, who lost her husband to ALS, Donna from ALS United Mid-Atlantic, and Dr. Piera Passanelli from the Jefferson Weinberg ALS Center. ALS awareness is especially important now as we face federal cuts to research. But Philadelphia has long been a beacon of hope for ALS, with nationally recognized research centers like the Jefferson Weinberg Center, and with support from the Philadelphia Phillies, who have worked to strike out ALS since 1984. People with ALS live on average just 3 to 5 years from diagnosis, and there is no known cure. And we are here to help, and you are here to help us as well. We ask you that you please continue to advocate for funding for ALS care and research so that we can find new treatments and cures for this disease. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Lynn Landis of SafeStreetsPhilly.org. I support Councilmember Lozada's resolution to restrict mobile service providers in Kensington. What is being promoted by those who argue against this resolution is a flawed policy called harm reduction. Harm reduction proponents believe in making drug use as safe as possible for addicts, whereas Kensington businesses and residents want safe streets for themselves, their children, and visitors. Proponents of harm reduction want a safe space for drug addicts. Harm reduction is a gift to drug dealers and a curse on society. City Council should send a very clear message that drug dealers and their drug-addicted customers who haunt our streets will not be tolerated, not just in Kensington, but throughout the city of Philadelphia. And to that end, City Council should sue District Attorney Krasner to finally and fully enforce existing laws. You have the authority to do that. Please act. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Paul Brulette. I'm a harm reductionist and an amputee, and I'm here to speak out against Bill 240665. Thank you. Last week, Councilmember Lozada mentioned amputees in her remarks, and I want to thank her for that. It meant something to be acknowledged, but it also reminded me how important it is to speak up. Because when I lost my leg, I was in the hospital for 89 days, I went through 38 surgeries, and I spent about 30 of those days in the ICU. I am lucky to be standing here today. That time in my life was painful, but I was fortunate to not have City Council debating whether or not I should receive the medical care that kept me alive. That is exactly what this bill, 240665, will do to hundreds of our neighbors. It puts their lives in jeopardy. No one on this council is qualified to decide when and where people receive medical care. No one here should be determining when our unhoused neighbors are able to receive life-sustaining supplies like food and water. When you block outreach workers and mobile service providers from doing your job, you are not solving a problem, you are creating a crisis, and you are sentencing people to die. I urge all members of this council, do not turn this body into a death panel. Vote no on this bill. And Councilmember Lozada, I ask you directly to withdraw this bill. You still have time to do the right thing. Please find your heart. Finally, I want to remind everybody
Sir.
We have Joan Pompey, Sam Pfeiffer, Eileen Callahan, Kwame Achapilong, Crystal Greenberg, Jim Cummings, Majeda Dove, Kelsey Leone, Jacob Zychek, and Hannah Messinheimer also make their way to the podium.
I'm speaking on behalf of Marissa Kosman. She is at work today. Good afternoon, council members. My name is Marissa Kosman. I'm a lifelong Philadelphia resident. I'm not a person who uses drugs or a person in recovery. I've never been homeless. I'm strongly urging you to reconsider Bill 240665AA. The language in this bill, as written, is extremely dangerous and will do more harm than good to the residential community in Kensington. In 2014, I lost my best friend to a heroin overdose. Every year since then, I continue to experience more loss. My friends are dying. When I say my friends, I mean people I grew up with, people I went to school with, people I've built relationships with, and people I've made memories with. I'm 30 years old. By 25, I attended more funerals than someone will attend in their entire lives. Myself and others doing this work are not the cause of the crisis in Kensington. We are a response to it. We are the ones doing food drives, giving out snacks and water, and freeze pops on a hot day. We do this for both the unhoused and residential community. We are the ones letting people use our phones to contact family members. We are the ones reconnecting people with their loved ones. We are the ones getting people into treatment and making sure they have everything they need. We are the ones cleaning up the streets and parks, disposing of trash and discarded syringes. We are the ones filling in the gaps and providing wound care. We are the ones responding to an overdose before medics arrive. Removing us.
So we're going to ask, hold up, ma'am. We're going to ask that everybody please respect the time because we want to hear from everyone. But if you go over your time, someone else who wants to speak may have to leave. So everyone, please respect the time. Thank you.
My name is Sam Pfeiffer, and I'm an organizer with Positive Women's Network and a longtime Philadelphian, and I'm here to continue to oppose 240-665 as I have been since September of last year. And if I didn't know better, I'd think those sweet babies and community members who testified in support of 240-665 were actually here in opposition because I agree with most of them. I heard them share the trauma of seeing people passed out, litter of needles on their street. I agree, our neighbors who are unhoused deserve help. This bill doesn't stop people from overdosing in front of schools. It blocks rapid response. This bill guarantees that children will see even more dead people. And I'd like to remind you, Bill 240-665 severely restricts help and support that those students said their neighbors needed. But there is one thing I never want, is to teach my children, is to witness someone struggling for food or medical care and feel nothing. Above all, I'm a human being and I want to feel empathy and I want to be able to help. Don't leave people to die or deem them unworthy of love and care. A yes vote on this bill is not a vote for safety, it is a vote for abandonment, for punishment, for more death. And how dare you use children as a shield for accountability? We will hold council accountable for every person this bill harms. We will remember who chose cruelty over care, and we will organize even harder.
Hello, council members and constituents. My name is Kwame Achampon, and I'm a member of the Philly Black Worker Project, a worker center advocating for the rights of Black and brown workers here in our city. We are proud of the POWER Act. We are proud to see our collective work come to fruition. I want to thank our comrades, council members, and the constituents for doing the work to ensure a better future for the workers of the city. As a worker, the POWER Act ensures that I am protected from retaliation from something as simple as trying to use my legally mandated sick pay or standing up for my fellow workers when our paychecks are short. As a worker, I am happy I can rest easy knowing that my coworkers will not be so easily disappeared by ICE when their labor rights are violated and we decide to stand up for them. As a worker, I know the POWER Act is on my side because abusive employers will be publicly named to protect other workers, and workers can receive financial reparations when they experience harm or abuse at work. We are protected. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Crystal Greenberg, and I strongly urge this council to oppose Bill 240-665. I am a nurse in Philadelphia, and I work with unhoused people with substance use disorder in Kensington. Every day, patients tell me that they would have died without access to the services that mobile units provide. How do you expect these services to function when they need a non-existent permit and when they have to move 1,000 feet every 45 minutes? The punitive approaches being implemented by this council in the form of cruel and inhumane police sweeps and wellness courts towards residents of Kensington will never work. We must offer services and resources, including those by mobile service providers which are already working. This council views the substance use epidemic as bad PR for Philadelphia and a problem to be solved instead of seeing a group of Philadelphians who deserve dignity, respect, and access to services. I wish this conversation was about expanding access to care and creating more routes of support to our patients, neighbors, and friends. Instead, I come here during National Nurses Week to plead with City Council not to criminalize healthcare and access to basic resources like food and Narcan. This City Council has made many mistakes which have cost Kensington residents their lives. Now is the time to change course and focus on the health and safety of all Philadelphians. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jada Dove, and I'm with the American Heart Association. Thank you, Councilmember Ahmad and Philly City Council, for recognizing May as Stroke Awareness Month. This month, the American Stroke Association, a division of the American Heart Association, is proud to spotlight stroke prevention, education, and recovery. Stroke is a medical emergency that can happen to anyone at any age, and once you've had one, your risk for another increases. That's why awareness is so critical. Knowing the warning signs can save lives. Remember FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. For our Spanish-speaking communities, we also promote Rapido, a culturally relevant tool to help recognize stroke symptoms quickly. Stroke remains one of Philadelphia's top 5 causes of death. Through our Get With The Guidelines stroke program, we partner with hospitals to improve care and outcomes using the latest evidence-based practices. We also know that high blood pressure is the leading cause of stroke and is often referred to as the silent killer. One of our initiatives that we are especially proud of is our Team Up to Take Down High Blood Pressure, a collaboration with Penn Medicine focused on West and Southwest Philadelphia. Thank you for amplifying our mission. Together we can ensure every Philadelphian knows how to prevent, recognize, and respond to stroke.
We have Kelsey Leone, Jacob Zychek, Hannah Masonheimer, Sophie Courtney, May Allison Lee, Zoe Jasper, Milady Morales, and Cherie Dominguez also make their way to the podium.
Before my time starts, Councilmember Bass, my friend Kateri Andriel registered to speak but wasn't on the record. Is it okay if we split my time between the two of us?
Oh. I'm sorry, no, that's not permitted. I apologize, it's not permitted.
Next, come on up, sir. Sorry.
But I registered to speak.
What's your name?
Kelsey Leone.
I will speak.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, my name's Kelsey Leone. I'm a harm reductionist, and tomorrow I will graduate from doula school and become a doula supporting people who are pregnant and their families and their children. I want to say that I stand here in opposition to Bill 240665, but I also want to say that I agree with 90% of what the people speaking out in support of this bill believe. I believe that everybody has a right to a community that is safe and that can flourish, and children can grow up feeling the love of their neighbors. And I see the photos that you've brought of the wounds, and they shock me too. They shock me too, and they are on people that I know and love. My fear is that this bill will make conditions worse. It will make them worse. It is not the solution that Councilmember Lozada claims it is. And she will use this bill to allow gentrification of Kensington the same way that she voted for Chinatown.
Man, your time is up, sorry. You have 1 minute to
Jacob Zychek with the American Heart Association. Thank you, Councilmember Ahmad and the entire Philadelphia City Council for recognizing May as Stroke Awareness Month. Stroke is the 5th leading cause of death in the United States and a major cause of long-term disability for adults, but it is preventable and treatable. 1 in 5 women will have a stroke, and among women, Black women have the highest prevalence of stroke. May is also Blood Pressure Awareness Month. People with high blood pressure have an increased risk of having a stroke. Unfortunately, more than 1 in 3 American adults with high blood pressure don't even know they have it. High blood pressure is a major risk factor for stroke. That is why the American Heart Association is committed to improving access to self-monitor blood pressure machines. Access to these machines can help ensure pressure is checked and kept in check, and can have a great reduction in risk of stroke. The American Heart Association looks forward to working with Philadelphia City Council and the entire city to implement innovative policy solutions to address stroke and heart disease. Once again, we'd like to thank Councilmember Ahmad for the resolution recognizing May as Stroke Awareness Month, and thank you all to Philadelphia City Council for your commitment to addressing heart disease and stroke. Have a great day.
Good morning. My name is Hannah Masonheimer. I am a resident and honored to serve as the United States Tennis Association's Community Coordinator for our Philadelphia District. I'm thrilled to speak in support of the resolution recognizing May as National Tennis Month in Philadelphia. Philadelphia holds a special place in history of American tennis, from the historic Germantown Cricket Club, one of the oldest tennis venues in the nation and host of the early years of the US Open, to the unparalleled legacy of Philadelphia Tennis Club, the oldest Black-owned tennis club in the country. Our city has long been a center of innovation, excellence, and inclusivity in tennis, a culture that remains strong today. Philadelphia is home to nearly 250 public tennis courts. Nationally, nearly 70% of individuals who play tennis do so at public parks and facilities, which is why I'm so passionate about advocating for our city courts. I'm proud to say that more than 10% of individuals in the Philadelphia area play tennis, higher than the national average. Studies show that playing tennis can add up to 10 years to one's life. The USTA provides grant opportunities to support local programs, facilities, and outreach that reflect the mission of making tennis accessible and inclusive for people of all ages and backgrounds. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Cherie Dominguez, and I am here in support of Bill 240665AA.
So every morning I drive my daughter through Kensington on our way to Willard Elementary. And every morning I have to say, look down, baby, because what surrounds us are scenes of open drug use, people injecting each other, passed out on the sidewalks, some overdose and some dying. This is her route to school. Her childhood should be filled with curiosity and joy, not the trauma of being told to look away from the brokenness. It crushes me every time I have to do this, but more than that, it should compel all of us here to act. Proverbs 31:8 says, speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Today, I'm here speaking on behalf of my daughter. I'm speaking today not just for my daughter, but for every child forced to walk through suffering they did not create, and every person laying on the street who once was someone's child too. We're not denying them care. It's the way it's being done. We can't look away anymore. It's time to look up, speak up, and do something.
Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Allison Lee. I'm a senior at the University of Pennsylvania, volunteering for 3 years in Kensington. I'd like to voice my strong opposition against the bill today, and I'd like us to just consider the question, is there any other city in this entire country that restricts the movement of mobile healthcare workers from the hours of 11 p.m. to 6 a.m.? I'd like us to consider. Exactly, yes.
Please don't.
My friend saw someone overdose on the train a few weeks ago, and no one should have to see someone die. Everyone in this room is here for the same thing. We want our city to be safer, we want our kids to be safer, we want our community to be safe, and harm reduction is about keeping the entire community safe. Entire community. So when we vote against this, or when we vote on this bill today, I'd like us to just consider that question. Is there any other city in this country that says that healthcare workers can only work from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m.? Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Zoe Jasper, and I believe in harm reduction because punishing people for their suffering is cruel, ineffective, and too often fatal. You don't need to have experienced homelessness or addiction to recognize the humanity of all Philadelphians. Many of us are only a stroke of bad luck away from being on the streets and losing our support system. It is shameful that any city councilor would support the criminalization of helping our neighbors in need. Mobile service providers are not the cause of the opioid epidemic, but they play a crucial role in responding to it, especially when the city does not have adequate resources to care for its most vulnerable. Week after week, I have been here and I've listened to the impassioned testimonies of people who have experienced addiction, lost their loved ones to overdose, or are experts in the field of public health speaking out against this bill. All Philadelphia residents deserve better than this. We deserve better than Bill 240-665.
We have Milady Morales. We have Milady Morales.
So we're going to ask that please do not yell out. We want to make sure everyone is heard, regardless of their position, but please do not yell out. Thank you.
We have Milady Morales, May Gloria Cartagena-Hart, Dom Chacon, Daisy Cardona, Thomas Bradley, and Edwin De Samor also make their way to the podium.
Good morning, council members. My name is Milady Morales. I am a Kensington community restaurant. Born and raised in the Kensington community. I'm here today to support the bill 240-665, which proposed the regulation of the mobile service providers on Kensington Avenue. This legislation is not only timely, it is necessary. For too long, Kensington Avenue has been a space where unregulated mobile activities has contributed to disorder, congestions, and in some cases, the unsafe distribution of goods and services. While we recognize that not only all mobile providers operate irresponsibly, the lack and clear regulation has enabled some to exploit a vulnerable environment. We've seen trucks park indefinitely, generate litter, and operate without regard for the health and safety of our community. This bill offers a path toward responsible management to ensure that any mobile service operating in the corridor at specific site and specific hours are accountable and operating in ways that align with the community standard revitalization goals for this neighborhood. Importantly, this is not about exclusion, it's about accountability. Responsible mobile vendors can still thrive, but under guidelines that respect the space, the residents, and the business who are investing in this corridor every day. I respectfully urge the council to pass the bill 240665 and stand with the Kensington community as we work to reclaim and restore the public spaces that belong to all of us. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gloria Cartagena Hart. I'm well known as Smooches in my Kensington community. I just want to give flowers to Kessie for fighting and showing that passion and believing in us. We have a lot of potential and good families. I just want to say, stop, it's enough. Stop putting us in the back burner. We've been having a lot of false promises throughout the years. I'm a Kensington resident. I fight for my community. I fight for black and brown, but today it's about human rights. They deserve help, yes, but our family, the children deserve better. If you see these pictures and you see the children this morning, if you don't have a heart and that don't touch you, then you don't belong in that chair that we voted and put you in there today. So please, I'm asking you as a resident of Kensington, help us get our blocks back so our families can have healing, stop being traumatized for what they see, and live right and righteous. We deserve that just as South Philly, Fishtown, Port Richmond have those areas. We deserve the same. Thank you.
Daisy Cardona, I am here in support of Bill 240665. Kensington has reached its current state due in a large... Kensington has reached its current state in large part due to lack of regulation. For too long, individuals and organizations have been allowed to operate here without oversight, doing whatever they want, wherever they want it, often with devastating consequences for the community. Care providers and individuals offering food or services frequently choose to do so in public parks, on sidewalks, and directly in front of private homes and businesses. These activities, while often well-intentioned, routinely leave behind trash, needles, bloody medical supplies, and other hazardous waste. Even more concerning, people struggling with addiction often remain in these areas to get high, refusing the offered resources and creating an unsafe and unsanitary environment for nearby residents. Although there are existing laws meant to prevent unregulated feeding and medical care in public places, they are not enforced. Many of these individuals and groups do not obtain the required permits, which leads to blocked traffic, damaged public spaces, and residents feeling unsafe to enjoy their own homes and community. We are not asking for these resources to be taken away. We understand the need for care and compassion, but for the sake of everyone, residents, business owners, service providers, and those in need, these efforts must be regulated and coordinated. The bill is a necessary step towards restoring dignity, safety, and accountability in Kensington.
We have Thomas Bradley, Edward Desamore, May Ivan Vivar, Shane Kiefer, Sam Liu, Justin Roig, Queen Judith Robinson, Sergio Sia, Reverend Philip Gebleter, and Xiomara Santiago also make their way to the podium.
Hi, my name is Dom Chacon. I'm a representative of Somerset Neighbors for Better Living. Our community organization is here in support of Bill 240665, and we're asking that it be extended to cover District 1, our district. Our section of Kensington, we have hundreds of mobile providers flooding our streets on a daily basis. Of these mobile providers, they are not all medically trained. A lot of these are church groups, volunteers, youth groups that are trying to do good, which we understand. However, we feel that the benefits they provide are less than the damage that they are doing. One of the most problematic concentrations is at the intersection of Ruth Street and Somerset Street, directly in front of the one affordable housing complex in our section of Kensington, with providers flooding the street 6 to 7 days and multiple times a day. This location is directly in front of our main transit stops for both SEPTA L and 54 bus. Residents are left to deal with the aftermath of feces, trash, food, bodies. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon.
My name is Xiomara. Good afternoon, council members, community members, and colleagues. For those who don't know me, again, my name is Xiomara Santiago, and I am here to testify in favor of Bill 240665. Not only am I an employee and your colleague, I'm also a mother, a resident, a volunteer, and a resource in my community of the 7th District. First and foremost, reading is fundamental. This bill is exactly what our community wants and needs. We spoke up and they heard our pleas. It's easy for folks to have an opinion when they are on the outside looking in and don't live, see, or go through what we do day in and day out. But we do. We live it and we breathe it. Why do my children have to live with these conditions? Why do my neighbors, schools, and local businesses have to wake up to trash, feces, urine, and used syringes on their front steps? We see it every day. When we walk through the neighborhoods, when me and my daughters ride the bus, take the trains, why do my 8-year-olds have to be exposed to a life we did not choose to live? Is the 7th District not deserving of the same opportunities and quality of life as your districts? Not only will this bill regulate the distribution of medical care and mobile services within our district and communities, it will hold providers accountable and help increase our quality of life for years to come, impacting our next generations. We all deserve better, including the constituents that so desperately require these services. So please listen to our cry and vote yes on this bill, because if they can get themselves to the opioid, they can get themselves to the help and services they need. Thank you.
Justin Roig. I am a member of Philly Boricuas, a community organization that works with the Puerto Rican community in the city and in Kensington. I am here to speak against Bill 240665. We are horrified that once again council members are acting against the interests of the most vulnerable people in our community and not listening to the experts that are on the front lines. Harm reduction is not the cause of this crisis, it is the treatment. This bill unnecessarily criminalizes medical services and food distribution at a time when the government is cutting essential services such as Medicaid and there is high food insecurity. Right now, people are passing out on porches from overdose. Without these essential services, they will start dying. Councilmember Lasada continues to misrepresent the voices of Kensington residents and businesses in her district by saying that we are all against mobile services and that we are a monolith and are not in favor of this bill. Kitsi and Mo Rushdie have a vision for the 7th District that does not include people like us, and she will displace her supporters. We know this is a larger strategy to gentrify the community in favor of developers. Please vote no against this bill. Thank you.
My name is Reverend Philip Galipter. I'm the Archdeacon for the Episcopal Diocese of Pennsylvania, and I speak in opposition of Bill 240665AA. The stated problems are real. It breaks all of our hearts to see Kensington like this and for children and residents to have to suffer through this. However, the bill does not address the root problems or the end symptoms. Restricting care, and this is the most restrictive bill put forward so far. Restricting care is not going to make folks move away from the neighborhood or off of people's steps. You are putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound and then telling the victims that they have to walk and only go certain locations at certain times to get that Band-Aid. Please vote no against 240665AA.
May Mike Africa, David Kushner, Crystal Strong, and Wanda Walker also make their way to the podium.
Hello, my name is Ivan Vivar, and I'm not here to play politics. I'm not here to pit the community against one another. I'm really so enlightened and happy to see these brave children come in City Hall and speak what I believe is their mind. And I'm also really happy to see lots of people who look like me and my family members supporting labor rights. But what I'm really here is to speak out against Bill 2605AA. We have met and asked for amendments to this bill as recently as this Monday, the proposed changes still are not holistic enough to remove the litter and nuisance stated, which is the goal of this bill. In fact, this bill and its reduction of services in hours and people served will let more addicts and people suffering through opioid addiction to fall through the cracks, which will again work against the stated goals of this bill. 911 medical service are already overloaded with people, and meeting them where they are is necessary to overcome this trend. There are lots at 3244, 3252 Kensington Avenue where city government could take over and then provide homeless people or provide these services, instead of making them go a mile or mile and a half further to where they're suffering to meet treatment. And this is slippery slope where we start penalizing and finding people, similar to search and frisk, broken window policing, and this is not the answer to solving opioid addiction crisis here in Philadelphia. If there was a house on fire, would you ask how much water is needed? Would you measure where that water is coming from? Would you ask me if my house is fire, if I'm on drugs, and do you need to put water on my fire? No, thank you.
So, before you speak, I'm going to ask if we could just have a little more quiet in the balcony. It resonates very loud here on the floor. Thank you. If we could just lower your voices in the balcony, please, so we can hear everyone. Please state your name for the record and proceed.
Good afternoon, City Council. My name is Sergio Sea. I'm the political director of Reclaim Philadelphia, and I could read. This council is presenting us with a false choice. Either help the unhoused and people struggling with mental health and substance use, or help the residents. There's another world where we choose to help both and don't put one group against the other. That's not what we are seeing with this legislation today. As someone who takes medication daily to avoid contracting HIV, I found it surprising to have council members HIV last week in support of the mobile services ban, when I've seen little to nothing from the city council to actually address HIV. Philadelphia is the #1 big city in the country when it comes to HIV and STI rates. We've all known this is a fact for a while, but what have you done? You voted to ban overdose prevention centers that would decrease needles and trash related to substance abuse and would get people tested and treated for HIV and other bloodborne illnesses. Do the kids here know they would have seen less trash, less people overdosing if you actually did not ban overdose prevention centers across the city? When Mayor Parker decided to zero out funding for safe needle exchange, something we've done for 30 years, scientifically proven to fight against HIV rates, something the Center for Disease Control sent y'all a letter saying would lead to an HIV outbreak. Here, Mayor Parker's health officials testifying to City Council saying this would lead to HIV rates. What did you do? Nothing. Nothing you have done for HIV rates, so don't you dare talk about HIV when you have done nothing to deal with it. This legislation will do nothing to deal with the causes. It will only create more harm, more cause, more amputations, more overdoses,
Thank you.
more death, more
Thank you.
HIV in our city.
Thank you for your testimony. Please be respectful so everyone can speak.
So we have Mike Africa, David Kushner, Crystal Strong, Wanda Walker. May Wick Savage, Paul Birdsong, and Obona Hagans also make their way to the podium.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mike Africa Jr. On the move. I hope that ain't taking up too much time. I just wanted to say this is not the end. This is the beginning of something. The police should not be allowed to murder people and get away with it. I wasn't prepared to do this way, but I want to begin this by saying thank you to Councilmember Jamie Gauthier for the moment that I mentioned making May 13th an annual holiday. She did not hesitate. She did not flinch. She stood up. I grew up thinking that all politicians tell lies and lie incessantly, and I think that's pretty true for the most part, but Jamie Gauthier is different, y'all. One thing that she recognized is that it's never right to drop a bomb. It's not right to kill people. It's not right to shoot 10,000 rounds of ammunition at people, and so she stood up for the humanity in my family, and I just want to say thank you to her, and thank you, and this May 13th is Move Day, the day of remembrance, on the move.
On the move, everyone.
My name is Crystal Strong. I am a scholar and organizer and the archive director of the Move Activist Archive. Can I have every Move member, every Move supporter stand up? Family member, everyone, stand up. You deserve a round of applause. I am not here to give flowers to City Council or the City of Philadelphia. Yes, this is a day of remembrance. Yes, this resolution is 40 years overdue, but the work is not yet finished, right? This should be a day in which all Move members, all Move supporters, the neighbors that were affected on Osage Avenue, that they have all of the things that they need, right? Mike Africa Jr. purchased back the house that was stolen through eminent domain. He has to pay a $400,000 mortgage. He should not have to pay back a dime, right? And so all I want to say here is that the City of Philadelphia must write a blank check for the Move organization and for all Move people who are trying to continue to fight for justice and recognition for what the City of Philadelphia did to their family.
Good morning, beautiful people. My name is Wanda Walker. I have 1 minute. I haven't spoken in 3 weeks, so I'm going to make it fast. First of all, I want to start with the 3 things or the 4 things I come to talk about, which is generational wealth. We need a bill, a resolution, an ordinance for seniors. Senior safety bill.
Wanda, you were scheduled to speak on the renaming of Overbrook.
A landlord safety bill, a teacher safety bill, and I would like to see all tickets after 7 years, parking tickets fall off. I would like to also say, I'm listening to all these people speak today, and even though I worked in Kensington at Kensington Hospital, I don't have a right to say what should and should not be. I do realize, and thank you all for speaking, that the people who live in Kensington and most have to put up with this situation should have the most say. It's not what you all are doing, it's how you're doing it. And because we have given Kensington such a pass for so long, we now have a serious problem that has to be rectified. So I want to ask, did we create this problem by allowing people in Kensington to have an open air market and not treat them the same way we treated the people during the crack era? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Paul Birdsong. First, I believe that criminal restitution on behalf of the City of Philadelphia is due to the Move movement, everybody involved, everybody that's into that. You drop napalm on innocent people, that's a crime. You guys are murderers, you owe them that restitution. I also feel that forensics lab, while you guys are working on it and voting on it, you better vote for it because the city needs it. Everybody that's been killing people needs to be held accountable. So do the cops that have been killing people. They will be held accountable by it too. So get it done, stop talking about it and do it. All power to the people. Also, the last thing that I'm gonna say, Bill 250444, those signs that talk about the data, the crash data and the victims of vehicular homicides and things like that. You need signs to talk about how a 77-year-old can't do Uber in the city without worrying about getting shot. You need signs to talk about how a 64-year-old woman can't walk down Kensington without having to worry about getting shot because you give $211 for advances and for raises for people that work in this building, but only $27 million to stop violent crimes. That's the signs you need to put up. That's the truth, right? You need to stop focusing on yourselves and focus on the people. What you need a raise for? All power to the people. Only the people.
Yeah, 1 minute, state your name for the record, please.
Obona Hagans. You're proposing a resolution to remember the 1985 government bombing of Move. But this isn't something to remember. It's something to outlaw. This was state-sponsored act of terror against citizens under the protection of the 13th Amendment. It was a badge of slavery, and instead of outlawing it, you offer us reflection and remembrance. That is not justice. This is cowardice. I introduced the Philly 13th Amendment bill to give this body the constitutional power to define and eliminate the badges, vestiges, and incidents of slavery. You ignored it. Worse, this council orchestrated the deconstruction of the reparations task force that Gautier herself proposed. So don't insult us with the symbolic resolutions. Your job is not to reflect, it's to repair. To the American freedmen of this council, your inaction disgraces the legacy of those who died so you could sit there. You don't get to say never again until you make it illegal for it never to happen again. Obona Hagins, unseated council president, over and out.
Chair recognizes Councilman Mark Squilla.
Thank you, Mr. President. I know I was recorded as being excused today. I'd like to be recorded as present, and we'll be voting on all bills and resolutions.
Duly noted. Thank you very much, Councilmember Squilla.